As I told you, this is Hagia Sophia. But before this Hagia Sophia, they had two more Hagia Sophia. This is the Hagia Sophia of Justinian.
Çok çok çok acilse gidin. Başka türlü gitmeyin. Tamam mı? Şimdi beni takip edin. İçeride anlatacağım. Zaman vereceğim size. Buyurun.
So the remains that you're seeing around you is from the second Hagia Sophia.
Okay.
And this is the third Hagia Sophia that we built. The first one was a wooden church in this location. It was a small church, and it burnt down due to a candle fire 100 years after it was built. I think it was built around 330. The second one was built in 417. So almost 100 years between the first and the second one. Now the third one was built in 536. Sorry, 537. It was built in 4 years, so it was there was a massive what's the right word? Rebellion against Justinian. So they burned down 1/3 of the entire city. And Hagia Sophia the second Hagia Sophia got damaged as well. It got burned down. And in 532, they started building it. 537, they completed it. And well, this is the one that remains. The original church was a little smaller. These arcs at the outside, it was added later on, 900 years after that it was built. Excuse me. So the reason why they were added is to support the dome.
Okay.
I'll talk about it more when we go inside. So the second Hagia Sophia is approximately 6 meters below the original third Hagia Sophia level. Now, the reason why I'm using first, second, and third Hagia Sophia is because we don't know the names of the second and the first church. So wrongly we named them the first and the second Hagia Sophia. But the names were not Hagia Sophia. This is the first Hagia Sophia and the only Hagia Sophia. This first and the second one,
We don't know the name.
so we just wrongly calling it Hagia Sophia. But at least we are admitting we are wrong. Let's go on.
His friends, Sahabe, they have been here many times, but they don't know.
We need.
Yeah, we do. You see the mosaic over here? Now, this mosaic has space. It's not allowed to lay in a mosque. You can't move it because that's Jesus. So, it's from the Quran himself, so you can't destroy it. That's what they're doing, and that's Gabriel. So you can't move it, unfortunately. So you see the curtain, they're very tight, the curtain up, so you see that still here. But the crosses on the right hand side and the left hand side, they're not being blocked by anything. When you get I'll give you a couple of minutes to think, like, why are we allowing crosses in a church? Sorry, in a mosque? It's history? No. There's another answer, and it's from the Quran. So think about it for a couple of minutes. They're close, but I'll wrap the idea. So we gotta remove our shoes, then we gotta go inside.
Bir şey yok. Burası oturacağım.
You guys are smoking. Mine is. So, let's go with it.
Bir Sami dine inandıktan sonra onlarda da bir tarihten sonra.
So let me answer the cross first because that's a interesting topic. So in the Bible, you know the story of the cross. Jesus died on a cross, right? Not in the Quran. You know what happened? God took him up to space, heaven, and he copied his face and put on Judas. So if you're believing, when you're seeing a cross, you're thinking of Christianity and Jesus, you're believing in the wrong book. That's the idea. So cross means nothing. Jesus never died on a cross, so it doesn't mean anything. And if you're thinking about, oh yeah, this is a mosque, we shouldn't have a cross here. Why? It's a symbol of Christianity. Study the book. Read it. Okay. Read it once, and you'll learn the story. So that's the idea that they had back in the day. That's the reason why they didn't block or remove the crosses. But of course, people damaged the building on the other cross because they didn't know scholars came up with this idea. So. On this side, you're looking at the mihrab, and on the right-hand side, that's the minbar. So directly in front of us, the apse of the mosque and the apse of the church. Up top, you're looking at some more curtains. That curtain is blocking the view of Mother Mary holding baby Jesus on her lap. Now, have you been to another church?
Yes.
Okay, which one? Where?
Once in Sri Lanka.
Doesn't matter. Was it a Catholic, Protestant, or an Orthodox church? Do you remember?
I think it's Catholic.
It's Catholic. So, when you entered, in front of you, there was a gigantic picture of Jesus, right? In this case, it's baby Jesus. Now, why Mother Mary is so important to these people that she's going to be up over there holding baby Jesus? Why it's not Jesus himself in adult form, in prophet form, right? Why? Or the Son of God form, if you're thinking about Christianity. Why? Here's the reason why. Even though back in the 6th century, the state was Christian, the people were pagan. And who is the protector of the cities? Well, they have 12 gods and goddesses. The goddess Hera, female, was in charge of protecting the cities. So it's just a way of showing people, look, I know we're talking about a different religion, but it's not that far from what we believe in. We still have a protector mother, Mother Mary. So that's the reason.
Adapted.
Yeah, that's the reason why. Just like if you go, I'm going to say New Zealand, but I'm not sure about this, right? It might be South America as well, or it might be South Africa, but so for us, European people, Middle Eastern people, we have access to wheat because of not India, the other Egypt. I forgot the name Egypt. Never mind. So because of those guys, we have the access to powdered wheat, dough, bread. So you see, when we drink wine, as Christians, right? We eat bread and we drink wine. Why flesh of Jesus and blood of Jesus? So why the bread and wine? They're like the Middle Eastern, the West Mediterranean was filled with olives, grapes, and wheat. It's accessible. But the same idea in New Zealand, they don't have wheat. So they didn't have bread. So when they said, my body is the flesh of my body is represented by bread, they were like, yes, so what? They don't know the importance of bread. In our local language, if you complain to me, if you complain about me to the agency and they fire me, and if we talk, I'm going to be saying, hey man, you took my bread from me. That's figurative dialect. But over there in New Zealand, it's fish. The source of food is fish. So they eat fish. they say, hey man, you took my fish from my hands. The language is different. So to adapt it, they change it from bread and wine to fish and wine. You see how they adapt? Just like this place, they adapted Hera, the Greek goddess, into Mother Mary. And guess what? It worked. This is the birthplace of Orthodox Christianity. So this is where Christianity spread from. So it was a huge success. Any questions? All right. So I'm going to talk about the architecture a little bit. So the dome is supported by two semi-domes. And they are supported by three individual semi-domes. This is how you distribute the weight of the dome to the ground. Because the dome is a circular object. It's going to distribute its weight equally on all sides. When you place 4 columns, it's only going to hold it from 4 different places. So it's not going to be enough. So you got to be distributing the weight equally on all sides. This is the reason why 900 years after that, we built those arcs that I showed you outside. This is the reason why we built them, because these were not enough. Okay? So that's the problem. Do you guys read Arabic? Can you read Arabic? So I guess you can read all of these, right? So you know what they are, but I'll still talk about them. On the right-hand side of the apse,
Yes.
God, and then Prophet Muhammad. On 4 corners, you have the 4 caliphs, and then you have the Hassan and Hussein at the back. As you know, this was a Shiite mosque. They wouldn't be up there because Ali is the last one. I can't read. Well, I just studied that. So, do you have any questions?
Ali, this is Ali.
That's Ali?
That's Ali.
I can't read them. I know that one is... I'm not even going to guess it. Omar, see, I thought it was Abu Bakr. Never mind. That's my problem. I studied this. I studied Arabic alphabet, but I studied it for 2 years while I was studying history, and for 4 semesters I took Ottoman. And the Ottoman language is written with Arabic alphabet. We took a lot of letters from the Persian alphabet, but I studied it, right? So I passed the test with cheating. I could never understand it for 2 years. Then I went to Belarus for 3 days. And that country is not an English-speaking friendly country. Every single sign that they have is in Cyrillic. So in order to get somewhere, you kind of have to understand the alphabet. So even they have toilets, but written in Cyrillic. So I learned the Cyrillic alphabet in 3 days. It was like 8 years ago, and I still remember it. But Ottoman, this alphabet is not for me. It doesn't stay here. It just flies off. So, oh yeah, I was going to say so. The lines, I think you know what these lines are for. So you're praying according to the lines, but when you stay with the line, you'll realize that you're not with the mosque. You're 6 degrees to the right. From Istanbul to Jerusalem, in Istanbul to Mecca, there's a 6 degrees difference. When they were building this place, they said, if I want to talk to someone, I'll be pointing myself towards them. So in this case, who am I talking to? Jesus. All right, what's the last known location of Jesus? Jerusalem. They built the building looking directly at Jerusalem. But while we're praying as Muslims, we're praying towards Mecca, which is 6 degrees to the right. That's the reason why the lines are off to the right. This is all that I have in mind. I can't think of anything else to talk about, so if you have any questions, please shoot. The angels.
Yes.
Thank you. That's what I was thinking of. I knew I forgot something like that. They're not just average angels. They're seraphims. They're the guardians of the gates of hell. Not hell. That was hell. They're the guardians of the gates of heaven. So they are over there and they're about to close their eyes. Now, people have different ideas, but the original idea about them closing their eyes is because they're like, they're shy in the presence of humans. In the Bible, the judgment day is going to happen. What's going to happen on judgment day? Exactly what's going to happen. It says God will send his light on earth. That doesn't sound that scary. Well, that light is so bright. Even the protectors of the gates of heaven have to close their eyes. Who are you on the mortal, as a mortal on the ground level, human? Who are you comparing yourself with God? That He can disintegrate you with a light. So that's, I don't want to say it was a scare tactic to make people believe into something, but whatever the idea behind this is, it works. Maybe people comparing themselves with giants like Zeus and everything, godlike structures, didn't really comprehend and understand the idea of an invisible God, which maybe he's like this big. Maybe he's massive. Regardless, we don't care. He's this powerful. That's the message that they were trying to send. Any other questions? Because now I'm done.
So,
Yeah.
are they doing any construction?
What was that?
Are they going now? We see that some parts, the paintings are.
Oh,
Dominant, right?
This place was a museum for approximately 60 years, from 1938 to 2020. That's like 70 something years, 60 something years. So they were trying to get rid of the plaster to bring back the church, like to understand how it looked like. Because when Muslims came here, like because these guys have saints and they have patriarchy and they have important people that we don't even know, like some local alims or some local bishops. They dedicate their lives to the religion, so they're important to local people. So they pictured them up there, right? So as Muslims, we covered them all because you shouldn't be seeing anything. You should be only thinking and praying towards God. So we wanted to see what they look like. And during that museum time, we got rid of some walls, some painting. You can see this is like bright yellow,
Yes.
but this is like very old and this is very black. So that's the reason why. It's not being painted to be used as a mosque while it was converted to a mosque in 2020. Maybe they were in a hurry, maybe they wanted to keep the atmosphere for the tourists. I don't know.
But it shows the contrast.
That's what
How-
I like about it.
Yes,
That's what I
that's-
like about it.
It
Yeah.
shows you before the
Before and
conquest
after.
and after.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I like that. Yeah.
And next question, they allow you to pray here, and Jummah is conducted here. So on a Friday, you don't have any of these.
No. On Friday, this place is closed to visit until 2 o'clock. So from the morning, you can come here and pray whatever you want, or you want to pray your new prayer. Yes, you can come here as you just say, yeah, I'm a Muslim. I want to go in and pray. Nobody's going to question anything. So as long as you know what you're doing, nobody's going to say, hi, they're tourists coming here to visit. Yeah.
On Fridays, if you want to perform your Jummah Salah here,
Yes.
how crowded is it? What time do you need to come here? I think it would get packed, right?
So this Friday, right?
Yeah,
In 2 days.
2 days.
Okay. I'll give you a specific answer because I know you want to come here, so I just don't want to say 11 o'clock, right? I want to make sure that you're here on the right time. So it's this Friday. It's going to be at 1 o'clock sharp.
Okay. Okay.
So you want to come here around 11:30?
11.
11:30. No. 11:30 is no. So you'll come in, you'll take your wudu or ablution or whatever you call it, and you come inside. And around 12 o'clock, they'll be starting with some, I don't know how to translate it. We call it a conversation. So the imam goes up there and he advises you to do some things, etc. It's traditional, etc. That's going to be in Turkish. So I don't know if it's
Same in Sri Lanka.
all right. In Sri Lanka, it's Turkish.
No, in Sri Lanka it's Tamil. They do it in Tamil, and after the Adhan,
Yeah,
they will have
that's
small
the step. Yeah,
Arabic.
okay. So that starts around 12, and the guests, the visitors, are asked to leave before 11. Oh no, they changed it. No visiting allowed on Friday. But you're Muslim. You come here, and they'll be guiding you. The security and everything. You just say, I'm here for prayer. 11:30 will
Are
be
they
fine.
using the top floors?
No. The upper gallery is close to visit. Back when it was a mosque from the Ottoman time, the upper gallery was for women. But today the women pray at the back over there. So you'll be going there. In Sri Lanka, do you pray side by side, or do you? How do you?
They separate entrance, or they put a curtain, something like that.
Yeah, because in Saudi Arabia they pray side by side, left and right, right?
In Makkah, but in the other places, it's separated.
By building or?
By building or by a curtain,
Okay.
a door, a wooden.
Yeah, in here, yeah, like that. In here, women pray at the back or at the side or in upper galleries. That's how we separate them. But in 2 days, you.
Okay.
Yep. You ready? So let's say 10-15 minutes. I'll wait for you right outside, where the crosses are. I want you guys to go over there.
Yes.
Look at what you're seeing and everything. If you have any questions, take a picture of it. If you don't talk about it, I'll explain you outside. All right?
Thank you.
Go from here, you'll come out from there.
Thank you very much.
Şimdi gençler, öncelikle dışarıda camilerde resim yasak, namaz kılınır. Ama kiliselerde her yerde resim yok. Bunu kapatmalarının sebebi geçmiş sınırlamalar öyle namaz kılması gerekiyor. Resimler
Yani her şey normal gerçekleştiğini
Мне очень поразило вот Венеция. Für mich. 61. 61. He was very young. 65.